Okay, I think we're on Hok if he wanted to do an intro.
Hi everyone. This is the Warwick University stream for the Warwick University team playing in the All-Uni Blitz tournaments, which attracts some 35 teams from across the world. There will be universities such as Harvard, Warwick, Princeton, Antwerp, and so many other strong universities playing tonight. Let's introduce the panel tonight. So we have
The panel.
As our hosts, Tom Thorpe, our former vice president,
Good evening.
and former English Chess Federation Manager of Arbiters, will be running this stream. We have a special guest tonight, who is Louise Head, the current reigning English Chess Federation Women's Champion. And we have Jack, who is our current online chess director, and finally me, and I just support the society. So without further ado, I can pass back to Tom, I guess. Any comments?
Yeah, you said Louise was a special guest, but me and Jack weren't. I feel quite offended, to be honest.
Yeah, that I apologise for, but I'm not a special guest either, so you're just on my level.
No, but that makes sense, doesn't it? That makes sense that you're not a special guest. Yeah.
I know, it makes sense.
Special guest yourself.
As you can tell, we really like each other. There's 7.5 minutes to go until this arena battle goes on. It looks like it's an hour and 40 minutes of 3+2, so it looks like we've got quite a lot to cover. You guys probably know, as people that know more about the society than I do, not being at the uni for a few years, have we got any sort of players that we should be watching out for from Warwick this evening?
Well, I think probably the favourite from Warwick would be our title player, Sam Chow, FM Sam Chow, who is playing in the A team, although I don't think it's seeded, the two teams. But we have 14 players, I think, overall. So there's lots of other above 2,000 grade players as well.
Yeah, Samsky can famously go on an absolute rampage in some of the club nights. He'll just take everyone down. So I think we're expecting great things from Sam. But I wouldn't count anyone else out of the running. I know that the Simpsons nerd gave Anish Giri a run for his money in the Optiva sponsored game. That's on YouTube, by the way. If anyone's interested, check that out.
Did he win or did he draw?
Well, if you're playing against Anish Giri, there's not much you can't really hope for better than a loss. But so unfortunately, that did ended up being the outcome. But it was a great game. Highly recommend watching.
Yeah, so that's the A team that I've just put on the screen there. Some usernames there. We'll obviously try and cover as many people as possible as we go through the evening. There's also the B team. I'll refresh that to make sure that that's up to date. It wasn't. Let's update the A team. So I think it's 8 players in the A team by the looks of it, and then 8 players in the B team. So it looks like we've got 16, which is really, really good to see. We'll try and cover as many people as we can, but yeah, definitely Sam Chow looking like the player that's hopefully going to carry Warwick to victory this evening along with everyone else. But I remember Sam coming in. I think he's originally from Australia, and I remember him coming into 4NCL and just completely tearing it apart. Everyone was looking around, going, "Who is this person?" And it turns out, a very, very strong chess player. Yes, I noticed sort of as I was looking at this, there's some. Sam's obviously 3rd seed overall on Lee Chess rating. But, Penguin GM, I seem to remember he's is it Andrew Tang? I think he's a very, very strong player. And, yeah.
Yeah, and we see, I believe this is one of the arena tournaments, isn't it, as well? I think I've seen his name at the top of a lot of these arenas in various uni tournaments. But I guess the other interesting thing is that having an A team and a B team is that we actually might get some Warwick v Warwick games.
That'd be great to see. Yeah, I think that was one of the motivations behind Jonathan wanting an extra team to enter this tournament. He wanted to see the battle between the favourites in the club nights.
Excellent. I mean, the other question I have is, who's in the B team, guys? Any updates?
Yeah, so just opening up the B teams. Hopefully that's on the stream now. So again, we got these 8 players here. Hopefully you guys can see that as well. As the commentators as well. So we've obviously got your brother Chun, Hok, Jonathan Fowler, and a very strong chess player as well, who I remember commentating with last year, or whenever it was, however long ago it was. Ziad as well, who I believe is the co-president of the society.
So Chun and Ziad are the co-presidents playing in the B team. They're like best buddies, so they ran together. Loaf of Beans is our outreach officer. That would be Ben Hok Chiu. He's from Solihull. And yeah, we like a new outreach officer. Cryo, I don't know. He's one of our new members, and I'm not sure who he is. Not studying is clearly not studying. And our Liam is Liam Rai. He's from Nepal, and he is really bad at playing Among Us, and he's really enthusiastic, and he's our new social sec, so we love to see them.
Good. It looks like we've just lost Jack's camera for the moment, so hopefully we'll try and get that back.
I'm doing my best.
We can still hear you though, which is good. But you've been replaced with some checkered squares on the stream, so I hope you don't mind. Well, there's only 2.5 minutes, but I've noticed there's quite a few teams that have started to come in. I saw Warwick University was sort of on the front page, the top 10 rated teams, not too long ago, and well, it looks like quite a few teams have entered. Perm University's one that I've not heard of. I mean, it's quite a few I don't know here. Be interesting to see sort of how that, you know, the strength of their players, because clearly if we look at the ratings of the top 10, you know, not many titled players, but you know, players with what, 2,400, 2,500 ratings.
You never underestimate them. I saw I think MIT as a team entered as well.
Yep.
MIT engineering, that's exciting. Yeah, they're very strong and very good at engineering, obviously, as MIT. I noticed Montreal entering, which was obviously triggers me a little bit, because it reminds me of a missed holiday, because COVID stopped me from going to Montreal for a conference, and you know, never say no to a fully paid for expenses holiday from the department. So yeah, very upsetting.
Yeah, we don't have many English unis though, which is perhaps a surprise. I think, is there one player from Manchester?
We're expecting a team from Imperial, but I can't see them.
Here?
Yes, Imperial have entered, but there are 0 players in it, so we don't know about them much. What's going on?
I approve of MIT's name, Massachusetts Institute of Tactics.
Yes, that was taking them all day to think of that one.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe it's possible that Manchester and Imperial will sign up, but at the moment, definitely not looking like they've got any players. So it looks like we're carrying the flag for the UK tonight.
Yeah, we've got a lot on our shoulders, I think.
Yeah, but the fact that our B team is, you know, a very similar position to the A team just shows really the strength and depth of Warwick. That's certainly been a thing that I've noticed. Certainly since I was at Warwick and throughout, there's so many players and so many strong players that, you know, it spreads all the way down. So to have 16 players, all of, you know, that sort of strength is brilliant.
Yeah, very impressive. Considering some of the other teams as well, like you'd expect these. Given that I hadn't really even heard of some of these places, maybe they're like chess specialists. So the fact that we're outnumbering them really, it's testament to the participation here.
Yeah, I wonder where some of the nationalities of some of these top teams are. I mean, obviously Princeton would be from the States. Do you know where MIPT is and Perm?
I'm not sure, but I will start off by opening up Sam's game. We'll probably have a look at Sam's games throughout as the top seed, but we'll try and cover as many as we can, and hopefully the others can let me know of any interesting games. But we've started out with a very quick opening, but sort of Queen's Indian type position. But clearly both these players know this opening well. I don't know if anyone here has knows this opening at all.
I was hoping for a Queen's Gambit, but Canada 89 didn't feel like it, unfortunately.
No, so from MIPT, so from that top university, so this looks like it's a real top board clash here between two very strong players.
It's quite the fun part of, I suppose, the first round of these arenas as well, is that you get seeded to the person next to you, don't you? So you do get the top players playing with the top players. So this could well be the game to watch.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's certainly the top one. You can see already 3 people are watching it, and we're obviously watching it for the stream, but to have 2 others, it's clearly got some interest from some other spectators, maybe from MIPT. But it'd be interesting to know whether that is an MIT team or whether that's from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hovering over the names of people in the team, it looks like they might be Russian.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting. Actually, the perm as well also seems Russian, so that could explain why there's so many good players.
Yeah. And it's interesting that Sam's opted to sort of allow these sort of split pawns on the queen side, but of course Black's got this isolated queen's pawn. How do you assess this opening, Louise?
Well, I think White will get rid of that bad c pawn quite simply with a c4 push at some point. I mean, I do like the white diagonal that White has, but I suppose Black is also attacking down it. I think it probably seems quite equal at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, we're putting this on.
You need to be careful of their a pawn though. That will be a weakness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this could obviously be attacked with something like Queen E7 perhaps straight away, or it can just be left and attacked later on. And this rook coming up here, this knight perfectly defended.
It looks solid for White right now.
Yeah, and
Black
of course,
has to be careful about moving his knight from the middle if it becomes too attacked because of the bishop on b7.
Yeah,
it looks like that's been dealt with.
Yeah, of course. Now this needs to be defended either with perhaps e3 or just moving the knight away, so offering the trade of queens. And one thing I should say is because we're streaming this live with no delay, it's probably best we don't put the engines on, just in case we get stream sniped. It's very unlikely, but
you never know.
No, and it also makes just for some more interesting commentary. Who wants to just hear engine analysis reeled out?
Interesting to see the e-pawn for White is still not moved this late into the game.
Yeah, but then you don't really want to push this to e4 too soon because you don't want to block off this bishop on g2, which is sort of taking control. And well, this a-pawn's been nabbed. I was going to say I wasn't sure if White could take this.
I think the diagonal was just so strong from White. I mean, definitely the White has the best bishop here, and the White square bishop. And the knight's just easily coming to c6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about Black's move of knight c3, though, if he moves back.
Yeah, it kind of locks in White's rook in position just to defend the e2 pawn, but that should be easily... Oh,
yeah, I was going to mention this. The idea is if you take, you're going to go rook d1 check, and then when you block with the bishop to f1, you've then got bishop a6. I was wondering if Black could have done this on the last move. So Sam's got an interesting decision here.
Or even bishop h3 actually, which is
that looks.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, no, that's clearly better.
Sam can fall into it.
Yeah, so he's moved away, and obviously this rook was under attack, so it almost feels like that was sort of the wrong time for Black to do it because but now you've got bishop a6. Complicated.
Oh, so we will see White getting 2 pieces for the rook at the end of this.
Yeah, there's no way for this rook to fly down to a square like b2 and add another attacker to that rook. You'd ideally want to play sort of rook c8 and then move the rook down, but adequately defended by the bishop. So Black's going to be forced into taking this rook, and looks like
I think I still prefer White, even though the pawn on the queen side could be very deadly, just because of the firepower.
I think White has all these pieces, though. I think it will win the b pawn quite easily. But whether there's a winning endgame, possibly not.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Sam's the one that's got the winning chances with these 2 bishops. This rook's going to find it probably a bit tricky to actually get into an aggressive position. Mostly because these pawns are so nicely defended. And it's just a case of round up this b pawn and then slowly move on the king side. I don't know how experienced you guys are with these sort of arenas, but how would you play it in terms of, because you've got an hour and 40 to win as many games as you can. So having a game like this, which is going to take quite a long time to finish, is that sort of something that you'd try to avoid if you play in these arenas, or? Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yep. Okay, it looks like we've got some technical issues on the sound, so they can only hear me, I think, at the moment. I'm not sure whether that's been a problem with Hok's stream, because I think I've got that open. So let me try. If you guys want to talk...
Hello. How's the sound?
Yeah, it looks like... yeah, I think it looks like because Hok has moved away or has done something, because I was getting most of the audio from him, it looks like that's there. I'm just going to turn Hok off, I think, for the moment. So bye-bye, Hok. We might see him there. Hopefully that's okay. Please let me know in the chat if you can't see anything. And well, it also looks like we've lost Jack's
My camera's done
camera
the thing.
as well. So we're down to two. We're down to two. But yeah, let us know in the chat if you can hear us again. And we'll get that sorted. So yeah, how do we get through now on this this king side? Is it, you know, slowly get this bishop to attack f5?
It's hard to say. If White can get all the attackers involved, they should be able to pick up the pawn. It's just a question of whether the resulting position afterwards is drawn or winning.
I mean, it feels like as soon as you get this... It feels like as soon as you get this pawn, the position will break through pretty quickly, I would think.
Yeah.
But how you get there without just allowing too many checks from the rook to kick the king back, I don't know.
Yeah. The white king doesn't really have anywhere to hide, and black's rook can even harass like the pieces as well. As you just saw, white bishop was going back and forth trying to... Looks like this.
Yeah, I think this is a frustrating endgame grind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely not what either player wants. Although that is a pawn,
He has won it. He has won
and
it.
the next pawn is going.
Yeah. And
So Sam looks good.
yeah, it looks like this is going to be a win here. It's just a matter of technique. Just block off that rook, and
Yeah.
well, I'd expect to see a resignation in not too long.
Yeah, there's only 10 seconds left. Oh, we are playing increment, I suppose. So
It's a 2-second increment,
everything.
so
I'm sure these players are well able to keep up with the time.
yeah. So we can hear you, Hok. Unfortunately, you cutting out meant that the audio from Skype completely cut out for everybody. So, but welcome back. You'll come back on the stream.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Unfortunately,
I apologize to the viewers, but basically I ran out of battery.
yeah. Well, that's going as a black mark on your card, Hok, later on. You're not getting paid this evening, that's for sure. You weren't getting paid at all, but there we are. Certainly not now.
Should we move on to probably a different game? Because I think
Yeah, this
Sam's not
Yeah,
winning.
this one's looking like a win. Let's just quickly refresh the page and just see how the A
There's a
team's
quite
got
lot
on.
going on in the B team actually.
Yeah, just a quick thing. It looks like we've scored 1 point in the A team, a couple of losses and a win to start with. It looks like Sam's going to win as well in his first game. And in the B team, well, already 2 points to quite a few players. Any player you want me to jump to?
Should we have a look at Joe's games? The Simpsons nerd.
The Simpsons nerd. Let's take a look at that. So it looks like it'd be nice if it took me to the game. It's not taking me to the game. There we go. So just having a quick look here. So I think he won the first game that he played. So this is already his second game. As you can see, it's 19 moves in. Very little time has been played.
It seems like maybe a weak diagonal on the king side for black, with white's queen slicing the whole diagonal, but without a dark square bishop, maybe it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to attack though. Although I do think black needs to do something with their bishop on e6, particularly now it's attacked. But I think they really want that bishop on d5. So
Yeah,
probably
that looks good.
like reroute, and then bishop d5 would be a good plan, and then maybe follow up with f4. I mean.
Yeah, I like this move. I like this move, queen e5, because it prevented almost black from going f4 and starting to put some pressure on white's king side. So I like that move there. And now black looking to, well, maybe drop the bishop back to f7 and just say, right, let's get it out the way for now, and then play the knight to f4. And yeah, black's definitely looking at some sort of king side attack here. And knight e4 using that pin.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it's a nice move. What do we do with that queen now?
I think probably bring it to maybe h4 or possibly e7. Don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get kicked around if you...
Yeah, if you try and keep the pin, or if you try and keep lined up with the king, white's just going to create an escape square and simultaneously kick away the queen.
Yeah, and, well, this knight's covering f6, but it doesn't cover d6. I was going to say this is quite a nice square for the knight to jump into. A little bit unstable because it's only got the queen protecting it, but... yeah, this rook now having to move and keep defending the bishop, so rook e7's pretty much got to be played.
Yeah.
And
possibly bishop c4 now for white.
Yeah, just put some pressure in that centre.
Especially now you can't go any rook e8 to double up on the defence of the bishop on e6.
Yeah, I'd like to see black move their light square bishop just to sort of take control of that open file.
And bishop c4 played, so yeah, tricky position here for the Warwick Uni player. You probably have told me who these are, but I'm gonna.
The Simpsons nerd is Joe Varley, and Joe Varley is our A-team captain for this year. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah. Now bishop f7, so that's hitting the queen. Rook's defended by both the queen and the knight, so. That's okay for the moment.
Like that move.
Yeah, that sort of halts black in their tracks. And now with the queen trade, I think black may be able to wriggle out of this, just taking on d4 and then maybe playing just rook d8 and kick
away
the
that
knight away.
It's just been very annoying. We'll see the light square bishop be swapped off for the knight here, I suppose. Small trades. It's the only square the knight can go to.
Yeah, and obviously this knight's now pinned, but there should be enough defense on that if you want to go passive. And well, I suppose you can just go passive and then, I assume, just hop out of the way of the pin and then move the knight and be absolutely fine here for black.
Yeah, how much would you value the bishop over the knight in this situation, seeing as there are pawns on both the king side and the queen side? Looks like it's irrelevant anyway. They've been swapped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this, though.
Now black's much more active, I think.
Yeah, but this is going to create an outside pass pawn here. So I think the plan of b4, a4, b5, and trying to create this pass pawn might distract black enough to allow white to take these pawns in the centre, but I think this might be winning for white, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, and in the blitz game, of course, like it's easy for both sides to not play the best moves.
Yeah, mistakes will be
But I
made.
think white does have the edge in this end game.
Yeah, the power of that outside pass pawn could be crucial. And yes, black's king is more centralized and further up the board, but it's been blocked out, and black's going to struggle to create a pass pawn on this king side. In fact, it's just impossible. White's just completely locking everything out, and is then, I'm assuming, going to start marching forwards on the queen side.
Yeah. Should we have a look at a different game as well?
Yeah,
I think there's nothing more to be done.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye and just see how that one finishes up. Just taking a look here at the final position. Sam did win that one pretty quickly afterwards, was able to convert that one. So let's just jump back to another game. Just quickly take a look at the scores. Sam looks like he's had a couple of quick wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. On number 2, we have Vince. Vince was our previous vice president. Fergus, we're not too sure about. Pink Unicorn, we're not too sure. Addicted to Porn was our former captain for our Division 2 and 3, Matt Coldwell. So some of you might know him. And I think that's all I know for now.
Sorry, it looks like a lot of them haven't turned up though.
Yeah, it does look like these 4 players here haven't started playing their games yet. Of course, they can drop in as they want, but it'd be good to get as many points on the board as possible. So if any of them are watching the stream, then hop in and start playing. Just quickly having a look at the overall standings, because this should show us.
Actually, it's 8 in a team. Their scores count. So actually, we need every single one of them to be there. Really.
Doesn't matter how good the best person does. It's more about like the group effort.
Yeah, and at the moment, it's looking like we'll drop down, dropping down at the moment. But that's okay. There's still plenty of time.
Doing all right.
Yeah, the B team's doing well. B team's currently ahead, but that's because they've got all 8 players playing at the moment. So. So let's take, absolute powerhouse. Let's.
The A team might need some berserk mode.
Some berserk.
If it's enabled, I would.
I think it's not actually.
I think berserk isn't enabled.
Oh, it's not.
Let's see if we can jump to a game from the let's see if we can jump to a game from the A team, because we just had a look at Joe's game from the B team. So let's see if we can jump to an A team game. Shall we take a look at the board 2, perhaps?
Yeah, very sure. Just a quick shout out. It's Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak to all our Muslim listeners. And all the very best, guys. Yes, it's iftar right now as well, so that's why we're eating as well.
Fair enough. Right. Well, this has been some sort of Sicilian, and with an exchange on c6. And, well, again, this looks like a fairly level position to me. I don't see huge amounts of advantage for white here.
Yeah, not too much to say.
I mean, sort of, if you were in this position as white here, Louise, what sort of plan are you going to be looking to do here?
Well, I do think the knight on c3 probably is a bit misplaced. I think I would reroute that maybe to e2 and try and take control of the center and probably actually attack up the queen side like they're doing.
Yeah, I like that. There's definitely space to be grabbed there.
Yeah, obviously this knight is sort of being bared down on by the opposing bishop, but of course defended by the queen at the moment. And yeah, as you say, I think just rerouting it and just not worrying about it, and then pushing on with maybe c4 and gain some space.
And I think also one thing actually I would like about white's previous move, b4, is that c6 is potentially could be a little bit backwards. I mean, they can push it, of course, but if white can try and clamp down on the queen side, then maybe they could target that as a weakness.
Yeah, and
I definitely like the idea of getting the bishop, maybe reroute it to e3, possibly to d4 as well, attacking a7 in the process.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks like a very strong line to have for white.
Yeah,
And
played it. Nice.
Just two things. We have a comment from a listener, and also the current president, Chun, who says there is berserk mode, and that we're wrong apparently.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's true. And the other comment we have is from Samuel, who wants to sign up to the B team, but Leachess wouldn't let him.
No, the
So
reason for that is because he's on the A team's team, I think, is the thing. So,
Oh, I see.
and yeah, so I think that's probably why Leachess hasn't.
So Samuel needs to join the B team, and we can put the link into the B team, and then Sam can then join on the Twitch.
But there's already 8 players in the B team, and he's one of the 8 players in the A team. So I think that's going to have to be the thing. It didn't give the option. Well, okay. I'm not sure what Leachess is doing there then, but we'll see as Black has nabbed this A pawn.
Yeah, white's got some pawn grabbing to do as well.
It was almost, I mean, I don't know if they would have fallen for it, but it was almost interesting to start playing something like knight b3 instead of knight takes c6 and try and trap the queen. Play rook a1. Although the queen can go to a6. But then maybe you can take the c pawn after that.
Well, Hok has been told to say something in the chat, but I'm going to say it instead. Tom Campbell is a fan of your curtains, Jack.
Thank you very much, Tom. They're not mine, but I take full credit for that.
Yeah. This is the sort of commentary you get here. So this knight on c6, yeah, okay, it's pinned, but it's nicely protected by this b5 pawn for now. But is there, perhaps a danger for white that Black's going to just try and get rid of that knight with a move like a6 and dislodge it?
I think white has rook b3 here.
To cut off the black queen.
Well, no, they don't.
Almost. We really want to see that queen trap.
Yeah, that's quite a nice idea actually. But yeah, Black has managed to escape their queen out here. So, but
I like exchanging queens here for white. You'll be able to pick up the a7 pawn afterwards, and then you've got a quite nice b pass pawn as white.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like after the exchange, Black's going to be able to, well, would have potentially been able to go knight e3 and pick up the c pawn, but I think you're right. Yeah. This b5 pawn as this outside passer would have given white some good chances. Now it's blockaded. I'm not sure. I mean, it's an extra pawn for white, so I'm assuming there's going to be some way of getting through eventually.
That's a nice move for Black. Yeah. Well, it's one of the only moves, but looks like the pawn might fall here.
Yeah, but if you go rook b2, Black has to take with the rook. If you take with the knight, I think that...
Yeah.
Oh, no, because the knight on c6 is going to be under attack, so I think it probably works out okay, the tactics for Black. Yeah, I'm not sure there's a way of holding on to that b-pawn.
No, I don't think so. If the white rook on d4, if it was not on the knight's pin after taking b5, then you could probably play knight a7. But
giving up the exchange.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure. It's
putting everything into that b pawn. It looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in Blitz you could get something from it.
Yeah.
It is protected.
Protected with c4. I was thinking though, you're not going to get enough pressure on that e7 pawn to try and win that second pawn. And yeah, well, it certainly made this a 3-result game rather than the 2-result one that I think we were looking at potentially earlier. It certainly opened up the chance for Black to win this one. But yeah, this is threatening knight d7 check, so that's got to be watched out for. And
but I hope for the miss.
Well, time is going to be a big factor here. Both players down to their remaining few seconds.
Yeah,
and,
that knight can be tricky, and it's close to the king.
Yeah, and well, you can go knight.
Watch out! I think they've seen it now. But
oh no!
Yeah,
everything's falling.
You could have played knight d7 there and won the exchange.
Yeah.
Not played, and this is a move. This is a move too late. I think.
The pass pawn.
Yeah, this is This is looking not so great for who is
in 36.
Who is in 36? I'm sure Hok's told us again.
There's Vincent's. I could be wrong.
I think it might be. I think it might be. Yeah, it's
So-
Vincent's. Yeah. And yep. So White has resigned that, so Vincent's resigned that one. So not going the way of Warwick that game. So let's take a look just quickly and see what's going on. So we've got
13 for Sam.
13 points for Sam.
Huge
Yeah.
strides.
Let's just take a look and see the top scorers at the moment overall in the tournament. There are some 16s and 15s, but Sam's right up there. So after that really slow game, that first game, that long grind, able to pick up a load of points there. Just as you can see, it's been 2, 3, 4, 4. So I'm assuming these have been berserked. I think that's how it works.
I think there's streaks enabled as well. So if you win 3 games in a row, the third game you get like double the points or something like that.
Okay.
There were berserk games in recorded that I could see some people had won 5 points for a game, which is what you get if you win berserk game as a streak.
Yeah, well, let's take a look and see if we can watch Jonathan Fowler, I think, because he's absolutely crushing for the B team at the moment with 8 points already.
Right.
And so in this game, under a little bit of pressure on the King's side, but level material at the moment. White's got these 2 bishops against the bishop and knight. Bishop g7, almost 4. So a little bit of pressure on f7, but does White want to be winning this pawn on c6? This move?
I think so. I think it would probably be worthwhile. I think black could have. They probably might want to defend on c6 if they don't take it, which they have. But I think black can definitely go for the c5 pawn, which is quite weak with a queen a5 idea.
Yep. So of course queen a5 would be sort of preventing b4 as well to defend that pawn, which is why White's gone queen a6 to sort of stop that one in its tracks and trading off that c pawn for the a pawn, and now these 2 pawns is going to be
looking dangerous.
Yeah, if they get running, it's going to be a tricky
I think
one.
Black needs an attack here quite quickly if they want to hold on.
Yeah, and if you're in this position, Louise, would it just be sort of hope to try and open up the king side and get a perpetual, or would it be try and halt these pawns or get your pawns marching? I think it's difficult to think what the best strategy is here.
To be honest, I think what Jonathan's doing at the moment, I assume this is what he's doing, and just try and gang up on the f pawn, and the king side would probably be the best bet, because rooks aren't so great against 2 connected passed pawns. Like you can't really do much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised White didn't trade off the queens there.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to happen as well. And this looks quite good for Black right now, because they'll be able to pick up b2.
Yeah, they're definitely definitely picking up b2 here. Rook f1 or queen f3.
Looks like we've got the b pawn.
Yeah, we've got the b pawn. They're going to get the e pawn potentially, which is why Jonathan's played e6. I've almost been tempted to have taken b2 anyway, because now this queen's going to get kicked away, and is White going to be able to hang on to these queenside pawns?
Just seen in the chat that in the Lichess board chat that Jonathan actually offered a draw at some point in the game and was declined. So White clearly thinking they have winning chances. I'm not sure how long ago that was.
I'm not surprised with that extra pawn.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a cheeky draw off as he was losing the pawn, or just before losing the pawn.
You saw it.
Yeah, but of course Jonathan, on Lichess 21-38, so a very strong rating, but his opponent 24-44, so very, very strong, but has won that a pawn and now being kicked away. So
and he's doing a great job, I think, doing the moves that you should be doing, attacking those weaknesses when White's not been probably playing the most active moves that they could be doing. I think White should have been moving their pawns ahead quicker than they did.
Yeah, or at least trading down the queens and then trying to make the pawns more impactful.
It feels like to me that missing that queen trade was a big mistake from White, because it allowed Black to get active.
Yeah.
Just that one rook on c2 wouldn't necessarily have done enough, but with the queen on d2 as well, it's done enough to provoke the loss of a pawn. So good chances for holding on for a draw here as black. Still probably slightly worse because this outside pass pawn, but
also, but actually, if black can get behind that pawn, say like rook b2 at some point, I think it could be quite difficult to defend actually.
Yeah.
And then black might even be better.
Yeah, I mean, even if black wins that pawn, winning the 4v3 on the king side's gonna take some doing, but yeah, you'd definitely rather be, win this pawn and get it off the board than it not be there.
I like that move because I don't see a way to defend f2 without moving the king to somewhere it probably shouldn't be. But it does kind of ignore the pass pawn that white has temporarily.
Yeah, white's probably looking at, I was going to say options of king g3 or moving back, but rook f4 is another option. And I suppose if you push on with e5, they're just going to go rook f6.
But then but you have e4 after that.
Yes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what would
although that's unclear too. But we probably don't have time to analyse it.
Yeah.
Queen d4 could have been a move, but
yeah,
still tactics are strong. It's kind of close to endgame.
Yeah, and now this b pawn started running, but as you say, it's
Here it goes.
a little bit out on a limb at the moment.
I think it's going at some point, probably quite soon.
Yeah. And here, well, with the rook on a7, you can go rook b8 here. This f7 pawn's defended, so you can go rook b8 and put some more pressure on that pawn.
Yeah, black's pieces are very well placed here.
Definitely. I think Jonathan's done really well here. So let's hope he can convert it.
Yeah, has done very well.
He's got a long way to go, but
yeah.
There's a bit of an update. Matt Coldwell, who was late for his A team match, has now appeared. So that's a potential game to look at after this one.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, all 6 major pieces were bearing down on that b pawn then. And yeah,
it just can't make any more progress. It's stuck there.
I'm not sure about that. I think I would have gone queen f5 myself. I think a queen trade would make it more drawish, but they haven't actually taken off.
Yeah, I think the reason it would be more drawish is because actually this queen can sometimes put some pressure. Okay, this king on h2 looks fairly safe, but there's always the potential. And
there it goes.
Yeah, that does.
Although you've got to be a bit careful. Yeah, he's taken the right way because queen d7 was a threat before.
Yeah, just here, if you take with the rook, queen d7 would have put some pressure here, but instead it's been traded. Another draw offer, but this time it's Jonathan that's declined the draw. So
what a horrible turn of events.
Yeah, but now rook takes e5, and now we reach a queen ending, 3v3. But that e-pawn isn't going to last. So with best play, I'm fairly sure this is probably a draw, but this is probably horrible to play with white in
look at
no
the
time at all.
When you got 2 seconds per move, be very careful.
Why is it all the games we've looked at have gone into really drawn out endgames? We've not seen any sort of devastating attacks, which we've clearly
the best game.
missed some. This is going to be very tricky to win for Jonathan, but at the same time tough to defend for white. So it's just going to be slow progress, I think, here. Very slow progress.
I think I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, well, you can't take with the queen. That would lead to a drawn king and pawn endings. So had to take with the pawn, and now that white king is going to be able to
I think the king's just going to be
There's
attacked.
too many checks.
With checks and every move basically now.
Yeah, this is
think
looking
that
like
might be a
it's.
draw.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
But a great result. Really, really good. For John
very
Fowler.
well recovered.
Especially against a really strong opponent there as well.
Yeah,
So,
I
And
think you'll
also
be happy
from one
with
of the top teams as well. I think this was the 3rd seeded team. I think.
Yeah.
Very good.
yeah.
So he's done Warwick proud.
No, completely. Right. Well, we'll leave them to continue checking for the next 10 minutes as we as we take a look
Oh,
at. Well,
there
we'll
it
see the
goes.
conclusion of the game now. There we
There
go. We threatened to leave it and it finishes. Let's just give a quick update on the score. So Sam's jumped to 17 points in the A team. The B team currently having a good set of results there from all the players. So all have scored well. Let's see the overall standings and just see where we're at. So the B team's currently in 16th place. And
Good.
the A team in 23rd at the moment, but remember that's only with 5 of their players, so they're
Yeah, looks like Sam's very fiercely leading there. Are there any? Looks like maybe one other person with 22 or more points.
yeah. Sam up in 3, up
Oh,
in 3rd
wow.
at the moment, doing really
That's
well
great.
And great as well, considering that he had such a long first game, and actually he hasn't played as many games as the other players at the
Yeah.
top.
Yep.
So is he one of the only unbeaten players? I think for playing.
I assume so. I mean, just look how many games these players have been playing. I mean, there was 3 losses to start with. I don't know whether that sort of changes the algorithm or not. It certainly does on chess.com. I don't know about on Lichess, but yeah, loads of points coming there for from HSE. I did notice that, yeah, as I say, Penguin Jim, I can't remember who it is. He's one of the best bullet players in the world. Turned up slightly late, and you can. Let's try and have a look at another game.
So Penguin GM is Andrew Tang, I think.
Yes, that's
And a good game to look at would be Addicted to Pawns games, because he's Matt and he's late, so we want to just roast a little bit.
right. Well, there's definitely no bias at all from Hok, his friend Matt Coldwell. So let's appease Hok and take a look at one of Matt Coldwell's tragedies. I mean games. Sorry, Matt.
Matt always has very dynamic games and quite sharp openings as well, so it can be quite a fun player to watch.
Yeah, and well, this looks like this has come from some sort of dragon. So yeah, definitely. A very aggressive opening, and knight takes e4 looks like quite a nice tactic actually. Here,
although of course the dragon isn't that one of Matt's favourite openings?
Matt claims you cannot beat him with the dragon, although Matt is currently playing against the dragon, so swings and roundabouts, I guess.
Yep, and
exactly.
maybe
and players very often don't like playing against their pet openings, so this might be annoying him quite a lot.
Well,
especially with that tactic, I think.
Yes. Yeah, of course, if you take this bishop's going to drop. So,
Well, it'll be rook takes, I imagine.
So Matt is... Oh, but this rook's under attack, but of course the knight attacks the queen on d2. Yeah, complicated position, but it does look like the tactics work out for...
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, I'm not sure about sacrificing the queen here.
I wonder what would have happened if you just moved, say, played queen e3 or something. What was the response to?
So after queen e3, I suppose you have to. Well, that's a good point, actually. Because of course your rook's under attack on c4.
So did Matt actually gain from this exchange? That's the question.
Well. Matt's given up his queen,
queen,
so no. I think
queen.
is the answer. No, he hasn't done well out of this at all.
Really going it for.
And I'm not sure about this as well. If he's going to make that sacrifice, he needs to go for the attack very fast up the king side. He does not want to be playing. I mean, I don't know what this. Oh, okay.
That's unfortunate.
Matt just blunders.
Yeah.
Oh, clearly hadn't prepared for his game. Oh.
Now. Well, at least we didn't have to spend long. Sorry, Matt. Yeah, that's an unfortunate tactic. It does look like White may have had a chance to get out of that, but yeah, sacrificing the queen, probably not the way out of it. Let's take a look. I seem to have lost a few. I've lost the A team's screen, so let me just reopen that. There we go. So Matt Coldwell we just looked at. So let's try and have a look at another B team game. So should we have a take a look at one of Chun's games?
Yeah, how's Chun getting on?
Let's have a look and see. Well, this was his last game. So he's currently not playing at the moment. It looks like. but managed to win that game pretty quickly. So that's
Nice quick tactic.
that's good. So we'll not spend long on that. Let's see.
I hate losing to those kind of tactics because you feel like you should see them every time, and I always seem to miss them.
Yeah.
But it's just the pawn forking two pieces like that.
It's annoying it doesn't show me. Loaf of beans I don't think we've had a look at yet, have we? Which is a sentence I didn't expect to say. But Ben McHugh up against another player from Perm University. We seem to be playing quite a few of them. Definitely looks like they're from Russia as well. And, well, Black is a pawn up here in this position.
I would love this.
It's such a shame.
And he would be good at streaming as well.
As we hear Hok in the background talking about something, not sure what, but
Wow.
not sure if he hit the unmute button or not. It's all right, Hok. I know you can't respond. I can mute you if I want. So Black is a pawn up in this position.
It doesn't seem so bad that the Black King was not able to castle, but just because of how well defended it is, and White doesn't seem to be able to form an attack against the Black King.
Sure, I mean, with the queens off as well, like it's completely fine often in many positions to bring your king out. Although one thing which is very nice that the Black's done is that in these sort of positions you do have to be careful of your bishop, which previously was quite blocked in when the e-pawn was back there. But actually, Black's done the right thing and opened up so that he can get it out. Very soon.
Yeah.
White's bishops aren't having the greatest time here.
Oh, that rook's not having a great time either, is it? That's an unfortunate blunder.
Okay, feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
Had the stream open in the next tab.
Yeah, but I think our loaf of beans. I think the key thing they need to do is get that knight into like an F5 square, somewhere really powerful.
Yeah, just move it perhaps along this sort of line to get it to that good square there. But this is also a perfectly fine way of going. Don't know why I didn't see that. Never mind. This is far more natural than the one I said.
Many ways to skin a cat.
Yep, some are better than others, and this is definitely better. G6
That's
just
nice.
shutting that one out though.
Yeah, White's pieces really don't have looking a bit crowded there.
Yeah, this bishop doesn't look pretty good either, does it? It's
Not really.
tricky.
H5 is, if White can get H5 in, then the knight's got some hope.
Yep.
And that would be a great piece if it can get there.
Yeah, it's almost a shame that Black's got this light square bishop, which can just take it off at the right moment if it ever lands on F5, because otherwise, as you say, that knight on F5 would be really, really good. But it's good to see Ben sort of, despite blundering that exchange, is still pushing on and still trying to find the right moves and, improving the pieces, getting that knight to F5. So still putting up a good fight here.
I'd love to see a checkmate with the bishop landing on B3 somehow for White. That'd be great stuff.
Yeah, that's a good spot, but not sure it's going to happen.
Especially with that knight.
Yeah.
But if we can get like a rook d6 in, that could be nice.
Infiltrate that way.
Yep.
It's definitely not over.
No, and Black's got to be a little bit careful.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's
with that knight there. Like the White, I think now has some good chances, even if they are an exchange down.
Yeah, this is Black going to go C5 here and block it out? Yeah, he is. I think this is a good move, but got to be a little bit careful because, I mean, what do you do with this B pawn now? You can't push it forwards because of Bishop C4 checkmate. So, yeah, C4 is a good way, isn't it?
I don't know. Do you have a good way to stop rook d6 as Black, or do you just have to allow it and there we go.
That'll do it.
I'll do.
That will do it. But White's still going after this queen side, and I think Black can hold on with Bishop D7 and just sort of.
It's interesting here though, because if Black goes Bishop D7, then White might have a Bishop B4 and a Knight G7 check idea.
That's tricky.
Because the Black King really doesn't have that many squares.
So
so
wouldn't be able to hang on to that bishop.
Exactly. But there are moves, of course, for black that can definitely help that.
Yep. So rook b6 played instead. Bishop b4 I think was quite a natural move to play anyway. Block those pawns off and restrict this knight to any squares.
Oh. Can you sack on a b5? Play rook takes b5.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that looks like a move. Yeah, you win these 2 pawns. You do drop the e pawn because at the end black will be playing bishop takes e4, but yeah, that's definitely no, because this knight's going to be under attack, and he's played it. Excellent move.
Definitely, and I think as well having the 2 bishops in such an open position, actually, especially on the queen side, I think white could have a lot of tactics here as well if black's not
It looks
careful.
like if black were to take this, then you'd even pick up the knight on a4 by force, just because of how little squares the black king has to move to.
Yeah. And so we're seeing this with the e pawn dropping for these 2 pawns. This knight hanging onto that rook, but. Yeah.
So they're all loosely held together by strings at this point, and the time is not looking too good. And yeah, you just got to trade down, I guess, if you're losing time.
Yeah, but still the exchange down here is white and
from a while ago.
Yeah, and obviously these 2 bishops are strong, and these pawns are going to start running soon. But yeah, not sure about knight g7 check there. Sort of running short of time, felt like a sort of desperation, sort of just play a move quickly. But yeah, I think that these pawns are now going to start to become a bit dangerous. White's going to get going on the queen side though, so there are still some chances here.
Yeah, we'll see.
You've
got to cover.
That pawn is very quick.
Oh.
I think just b2 here would have been.
Yeah, I would have done it.
Would have been a good move, but.
Oh, is this a bit late now to stop that promotion?
Yeah, I mean.
You've got to come back. Okay, found it.
Rook, then.
White king's really out of the way here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also white's turned their bishop into a pawn.
Yeah.
Which isn't helping the attack or the defense. I mean, it helps the defense actually, but not the attack so much.
Just e3 here seems to be good.
Yeah, but instead, black has dropped that pawn. Black's also short of time, of course, is going to be coming in, so I think he's just going to play b2 and now be a full rook up for these 2 pawns, but this knight's doing just enough to hang on, and the rook becoming active here is going to do the job, I think.
Yeah, there's pawns on light squares on the right hand side of the board as well. You can't. Oh, that's good.
I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
Just a bit of desperation there. Nice try.
Yeah, hoping for a bit of a miracle there, but not getting the job done. So unfortunate there, dropping that exchange. But after that, played a really, really good game and nearly got back into that one. Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. Should we have we looked at Ziad's games yet?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So he's the other president.
Yeah.
We looked at president. This is the other one.
What's going on?
Yep.
Look at all those pawns.
So Ziad with the white pieces up against RUDN. I'm not entirely sure what university that is. Again, looks like it's from a Russian university. And yeah, there are a lot of pawns here on this.
No pawns taken.
Well, there's just been a pawn taken now. After a4, b takes a4. But, so black has 8 pawns, white has 7, and I'm not sure white has much for that. b3 is...
Surely a blunder.
Well, this pawn is pinned. This pawn on a3 is pinned, of course. So if you
I think it's the c pawn that's the issue here, though.
Oh no, the white's pieces are very cramped in. The bishop's really can't get much done.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, b takes c3 just looks like the refutation to that, doesn't it? Doesn't look like there's much to do here other than just dropping the knight back to f1, which is really miserable.
Yeah, I can't see much counter here. Yeah.
Very miserable. Of course, if black takes this pawn, then the white could recapture with the rook and pick up the rook in the corner if that's captured. But yeah, these queenside pawns.
I think then black's looking at promoting even.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Going into all sorts of problems with the pawn pushes. Yeah, it's difficult. I wonder what went wrong really here for white. Like, how did black get such a quick attack?
Yeah, well, we
so
can
much space.
It's a long game.
Let's quickly take a look. It was an advanced French, which
the interesting thing is Ziad. I guess Ziad's playing quite a strong player, but Ziad's lead chess rating is 1800, which is quite much stronger than I thought it was.
That's
underestimated Ziad.
Well, this is how it happened. The queens got exchanged in this advanced French, and then the pawns came marching forwards, and an a4 there is potentially not the right move there. It looks like it's going to try and open up that queen side, but I think it just gives black all this play, and these pawns already just on move 17. It's so strange to see all these pawns coming forwards, and after takes on a3, b2's coming in, and well, that's almost lights out already, really.
I think so. Sadly.
Yeah, that looks like it's
didn't really get a chance to get into the game, sadly, with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And knight d8 good enough to hold the forts at the back, and and a resignation there. So, very strong opponent there from black has punished that ambitious a4 move on the queen side. So slightly unfortunate there. Let's jump back to the 18. We haven't looked at the 18. 29 points now. Up to second place in the tournament. Yet to drop a game from Sam Chow. So really, marching that A team forwards.
That's great stuff.
Yeah, fantastic. A really poor performance rating as well of 26-12.
Only 26-12.
Really, really terrible. Let's take a look. I don't think we've had a look at Fergus, actually. So we seem to be in an endgame here, so this might be a good time to jump into this one.
Yeah, looks like he was a piece up.
Yeah, piece up. So looking good. Fergus. Do we know who Fergus is?
I can try and find out.
Okay.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, but definitely, doing well. Currently third for the 18 at the moment.
I think, not to get a insufficient material. Oh yeah, that's
I think this is enough.
Yeah, it should be enough. You can go king e5 here and then sacrifice this bishop, or even just play bishop a2 straight away, and this is winning. So let's just watch this one to the end, make sure that
no stalemates.
Yeah, but looks like good technique here. Has now got the king and marched it forwards. Excellent. Yeah, well played. Managed to convert that piece up.
Very good.
Excellent.
Another one on the board.
Yeah, another win. And a good. It's annoying it doesn't show the record of the players on this screen, but yeah, got an extra point there. Let's see, who else haven't we looked at from the B team?
Wow, performance rating from Jonathan Fowler.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the performance rating from Chun as well. To be honest, we didn't really see much of Chun. So let's see. Chun is now playing a game, so let's actually take a look at that. Oh no, it's just
Chun is much stronger than me. Many years ago, I could swindle Chun, lose a queen, pull off some kind of pseudo backrank checkmate, and catch Chun out. But these days, I would just get absolutely destroyed by Chun in an endgame. He is the master of the endgame, if you let him get there.
Wow, Chun was able to.
He's one of those players as well who's improved a lot over lockdown, actually, hasn't he? I mean, he was a good player before, but I think a lot of players, particularly him, have played a lot of chess over the last year.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting to see them come back into over the board chess.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at Genomesh, and this is the first game we've seen one of the Warwick players berserk. So when you berserk, do you give up your increment as well?
Yes, you do.
Oof.
It's very punishing sometimes. I've had Taran do it to me many times.
Yeah, So we've seen this one from the start. So Geno Mesh, do we know who this is? It's a name I vaguely recognise, I think.
Yeah, I've heard the name before. I think they're a regular at the club nights. I'd like to see like maybe E5 and D4 if you're playing very quickly in this position for black.
Yeah, well, black's certainly keeping up with the pace. Has only used sort of 16 seconds, I assume, but
yeah.
I'd be too scared to berserk, I think.
Just a quick thing. Geno Mesh is Vash, and Vash is our new women's chess officer. So great to see her play so well.
Excellent.
Well, she's definitely got some bravery here to be berserking, albeit against someone lower rated from Antwerp University. And I like this move. And it looks like you can trap that bishop there with A4.
Black's much quicker on the attack here with opposite side castles.
Missed that opportunity there. Of course, it wouldn't have fully won the bishop because of A3 to kick that bishop away, but it still would have been quite a nice move to sort of open up that queen side anyway and get your rook active straight away.
Yeah, particularly, I mean, the C2 pawn, if you can play A4 and push the bishop back, then maybe a rook C8 and getting up on that C pawn could be a really good attack.
Yep. And H5 from Vash here, and it can be taken, this pawn, and I imagine that's in White's interest to do that, because then it looks like White can continue marching that H pawn down the board and be irritating. And after A3, it's kind of like Black's attack's almost sort of been slowed down on the queen side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black does have bishop takes, or did have bishop
F4,
takes F4. But I think the opportunity might have gone now.
Yeah, it's a shame that White, the light square bishop for Black has been swapped off here. I think that was really strongly placed on G6. Could have done very well in the attack against the White king. But it's not to be.
Yeah, an A4 here. Well, it looks tempting. I mean, it's
a bit late.
It's going to hit the bishop back to A2, but this is sort of quite locked up, and now Black's going to have to contend with being very down on the clock, especially with no increment, having berserked a pawn down and against the two bishops. This is an uphill battle, I think, from now on.
I think so, and also for White, they might have ideas of playing something like bishop b1, pushing the c pawn up, and actually attacking the Black king really down the diagonal.
Yeah, that looks good.
So Black could be here.
It's not very well placed on a2 at the moment. Hasn't really got much to do.
Yeah, bishop b1's a really nice move. Just rerouting that, and well, when this is your extra pawn and it's a protected passer, it's that's going to have to be dealt with. And with 4 seconds left, it's not looking great.
It was A3 hung there briefly. But yeah, you haven't got time. You haven't got time to be thinking at all here.
No time at all. And this is the dangers of berserking. You get more points, but you've got to win them to get the points. And this one doesn't look like it's going the right way.
The desperation attempt. Maybe going for a back rank if there was one. It doesn't look like it there.
No.
A nice try from Vash.
Yeah, and she's heading straight into her next game, but
no breaks.
We'll move on.
Berserking again.
Berserk again, going for it. Well,
in the zone.
I love the fighting spirit.
Yeah, completely.
Although she's in the B team, isn't she? So
yeah.
There's not quite as much pressure as if she was in the A team.
Yeah. Let's check in quickly with an update. Sam up to 31 points now, and
wow, just keeps on going.
Looks like that may have been a draw actually, because he's lost the streak. Yeah. So, I mean, terrible, clearly.
Unforgivable.
Must have been another drawn at endgame, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, perpetual.
It looks like some of the 18 players are back online, so let's actually have a look at Paulinho. Although, no, it doesn't look like Paul is playing at the moment. Nope. So we'll not jump to him, as I've just lost the A team again. I really should learn how to do this. in a better way. Let's actually just refresh the standings and see where the B team are. Up to 21st at the moment. Very, very, good showing from them completely. With it being the B team and doing well, and the A team is in 22nd. I was going further down, but no, they're all, given that several of their players haven't started out the tournament. Sam obviously picking up a ridiculous number of points there. But
it's just miles ahead of anyone else. I think nearby.
Yeah, no, it'd be quite an interesting question to see who comes out on top at the end.
Yeah.
And how close they all are.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's a 2-horse race for first place. I mean, first place has played a ridiculous number of games, but Sam's consistency in winning is just picking up points and only just dropping that draw there, which might cost him the first place.
You'll be dreaming of that one.
Well, let's see. Who should we go to? Should we go to chess.com is better?
It's not true, but let's give him the.
I'd disagree, but I'm not sponsored.
Oh.
I'm not sponsored by chess.com.
Yeah,
but,
we're not sponsored by League Chess.
I think this is an age-old debate, this chess.com thing, but like, League Chess just has a cleaner platform. I mean, I don't know about you guys.
Chess.com has far more to offer, but this is not the time to be debating this. This is the time to be looking at this username's game. And his opponent looks like has berserked, but is the exchange up for a pawn? So do you think White's going to be able to do this with the 35 seconds that they've got to try and win this game?
I'm holding up for him.
I'm not so sure, because Black's even attacking as well, and if White had that time and had a good full attack going, then maybe he might fancy their chances. But I don't know. I think Black's solid enough here.
If Black gets H4 in, I think things could get very loose for the White King.
Yeah, and I mean, Black's obviously looked to try and push this D pawn up the board with Queen C2. It's obviously been blocked out by Rook F2, so that queen's going to have to move. Has gone to C5, move, which looks like a good square. And yeah, it's
it's not getting the time of day from White. Black's really trying to play D6 or D3 even.
It's the fact there's no increment for White that just makes this so tricky, right?
Yeah, it's fragile.
We're having a rook T8 and pawn push.
I think so.
Yeah. Give up H5.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the queen being on B6 though. I think there could be. I mean, I guess they're trying to keep the pin, but I think it's a bit restricted.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know what the idea behind that was. Queen F6.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and
that was fine.
That's fine because that rook is pinned.
Oh, we've won this. 10 seconds.
Looks good. You can just take that queen. Take the rook.
Do whatever you want at this point.
I'd even keep the rooks on the board because your opponent's got so little time.
Yeah. Very well played.
Well, it's not strictly over yet. These pawns are going to start running, and this knight is
Oh,
way
no.
over the other side of the board. I think the time will be the factor, but yeah, that's
That's fine.
Very good. You can just sack here, I guess.
Oh, I was just going to say Queen H8, but
oh, needs to be careful here though. What are they? Oh, you checkmate with the knight.
Could have gone.
Oh no. Oh.
That would have been lovely.
Oh.
Just not a stalemate.
Yeah, could have gone knight E5, knight F7 there, and that would have been it.
No defense against that.
Oh, but they have knight E5 still.
Yes.
And then queen F7, and
That's
they can even let them queen. Oh no! What's this?
But
Okay, we're still good. We're still good.
It's still okay. It's still okay.
We're good. We're good.
This pawn goes through. Any chances of this queen sacrificing for the pawn as well, and then marching the other one?
Then and only then. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Well, time's still going to be crucial here, but that's still going to decide the game. But clearly, Black is won.
Got it done. Got it done.
Yeah. Maybe not the most efficient way of winning, but a win is a win. A win is a win.
A dub is a dub.
We would tell children off if they did that in a game, I think.
I disagree, because actually playing that way is sort of, it's simple, right? You know that king and pawn in the end, you sacrifice your queen and then march the other one up the board. It's simple. You don't need to think about it. So it's not the worst way of playing it. It's obviously, ooh.
Traxler.
Well,
this is a great opening. This is going to be a good game, I can tell.
Well, I think something's gone wrong, hasn't it?
Well,
Because
I'm not so sure if it's a great game for black. But
no. Bishop c5, possibly not the right move there. d5, I think, is the move, isn't it, against this? And there's some theory, bishop c5, just allowing that thing. I think you can go knight takes f7 here instead and pick up the exchange, but
there are a lot of traps in this if you do play bishop c5. Because black can take on e4, and even there's a lot of mates and things, and black can often end up getting a huge advantage in the end. But it looks like things have gone wrong slightly, and black's a bit stuck.
Yeah, well, it is only a pawn. It is only a pawn. It is now no longer a pawn.
Pawn is back.
But
this could be.
Oh dear.
Oh,
That's the queen gone.
I think black needs to hope that they can get the fork on f2 eventually, but I think it's too late now.
Yeah.
It's not too late, but it's unlucky.
Yeah, the queen's got off the d1 square.
Yeah, that's not looking too great. Let's see if we can have a look at another player, just so we can see as many people as possible after the queen drops.
Moving swiftly on.
Actually, wait. There's new players.
There are new.
Hok has arrived.
Hok's in there.
Hok
I
won his
forgot
first
who that
game.
is now.
Hok the
The
Sock.
problem with these players, Hok the Sock and all these players, is that it's like completely terrible, because I think Peter Batchelor was once Hok the Hippo, and there were various combinations of Hok's name, and they were all better than me. And that was the depressing thing, that every variation with Hok was a superior version to the original Hok.
I hate to tell you, Hok, not that difficult. But yeah, I'm not sure who Hok the Sock is. One of many different players it could be.
Your fan club's very big nowadays, Hok.
Yeah.
I think there was a point where there was like 4 or 5 different Hoks in the society.
Yeah, but
Common name.
Hok the Sock is 2355. There's only so many players. Is it Peter Batchelor?
Yeah, it could be.
Or is it
It could-
Yanis? I'm not sure.
Yanis did Hok a version of that before as well.
So-
I can't remember
Both
which
of them have
version.
Hok accounts.
Does someone think this might be Pete Batchelor, because we've got a Caracan here? Pete
Oh,
Batchelor.
but Yanis plays a Caro as well.
Oh, does he? Oh,
The
okay.
two candidate players.
Oh, maybe it's Dimitar. It's possible.
I don't,
Nah,
think, I
he'd-
don't think he would do that. He's
he'd-
got too much pride.
He'd play with he'd have too much ambition as black to play the Caracan. So, that's a free pawn. That's a free
Nice.
pawn. And of course, Hok the Sock has berserked here as well against his poor 1100 opponent, who probably can't believe he's having to face a 2350.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate draw there for Mance.
What a shame. But
They were looking at what, knight d5, and it looks really difficult now for white.
Yeah.
Especially if they can bring in the other knight. So if they can remove the bishop and then what's going on?
yeah, well, this bishop's defended, but I like this move. Just bring the other knight in.
Yeah.
So take and then play knight e4, perhaps.
I like it doing it in the other move. So you bait white into a free knight on e4. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, but of course here you allow bishop takes
Uh-huh.
d5,
no.
but oh no. Okay, well,
Brutal.
Oh, but here you don't even need to take the queen. You could probably mate without.
you could probably play queen a5, can't you? That's
Missed out.
terrible. Terrible.
No mercy from Hok the Sock.
Well, Hok Sock might be winning this one. Just queen c3, queen b2 coming up here.
Yeah.
Very nicely
Nice
done.
job.
Nicely done. So picking up some points for the A team there. No idea which one of the many alumni or current players it could be, but good username. Well done.
You did the name proud.
I think I remember there was a tournament, like a local Warwick chess tournament, where all three of the winners were Hoks.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh dear. Well, just having a look at the overall. So the first player is on 40 points, and then Sam is currently behind on 35, but back on a streak, whereas the first place player is not on a streak. So
yeah, he's got a few losses in there as well. Sam's
Unbeaten.
Still unbeaten. It's incredible. We'll jump back to Sam's game sort of near the end when it's getting near to the end of the time. Let's have a look at who have we not had a look at. Liam, I don't think we've had a look at. And is
I
playing.
think Cyrus seems to be doing quite well, despite their rankings. So maybe we could.
Yeah, we'll have a look at them in a minute. And well, we may jump back to that one in just a second, because we seem to have jumped to Liam at an unfortunate time, being a rook down in this one. And
I mean, if you can take a perpetual here.
Yeah.
Okay, not gonna lie.
White's having none of that. Yeah, and White's just gonna march these pawns down the board. Well, this one now, and use that extra rook. Let's have a look at Cyro, because again, as you say, doing very well. 14 points already.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So, under a bit of pressure here, has just dropped that H pawn, because this pawn is pinned. So I'm assuming that is, well, I was going to say black is a pawn down now, but that's not the case. Black is a pawn up, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, they've had some progress there on the other side of the board.
That's my worry, though. That's my worry.
I mean, I suppose it is white to move, which is difficult. But I think if black can, well, I was gonna say if black could get King G7 and Kate in, then they're probably fine and have a good attack. But this now looks very difficult. They might have to go Queen E5, I think now.
Yeah.
Just to hopelessly defend.
Yeah, Queen E5 drops that queen though, so.
Never a move you want to play.
I don't want to say that.
That's fine.
Oh, is it? Okay, so you can play D5 and then like an F4 move.
Yeah.
Leaves a lot of a bit breezy around the king there.
Yeah, you're gonna drop the G6 pawn, but I don't see any other way of defending. Here, Knight G5 is gonna come in, and now you got to sacrifice the queen. Yeah.
That's unfortunate for Zara.
Yeah,
playing a much higher rated opponent here should be noted. So.
Yeah, Rook E8's not quite going to do it, because Queen H7 and Queen F7's going to get the job done there. So
deadly.
Yeah, and still overall for Cyro, actually, he's still having a good tournament. Like he's
for sure.
14 points and his third scorer for the team. So
yeah,
hopefully he can put it into the next game.
Yeah, doing well overall. And yeah, Liam unfortunately did drop that one as well, so I'll clean this up. And well, a sacrifice here on G6 probably is going to be good enough with Rook D3 here, and
you can't do
Rook
anything.
H3. You got to push E5 here to defend, but
you haven't got 3 moves.
No, you can't do everything. So yeah, let's hope Cyro takes the next one.
I think we haven't looked. Have we looked at not studying yet?
I don't think so. So I will have
a
look. Hok the Sock looks like they've come in, won a couple of games, and have bowed out again. Poor Hok the Sock. So not studying doesn't look like they're playing at the moment, or even though chess.com is playing a correspondence game, right, against Chun.
I think that would be a slow game to watch.
Yeah, we won't be covering that one. So we'll see if we can jump to not studying when they're playing their next game. I think we've had a look at all the players in the B team. Have we looked at everyone in the A team as well?
Have we done? We've done Paul. We've done Matt.
we
We've
done
done
Sam?
chess.com. We've done Sam. Have we done Sam?
Samuel B.
Don't think we've done Sam. I think they came on a
Yeah.
little bit later on. So
Yeah.
but it doesn't look like they are in a game at the moment. So probably not able to jump into that one. Let's take a look. Addicted to Porn. Who was that?
That's Matt Coldwell.
That
Let's
was
go
Matt.
for him. We can do him again because he's quite funny usually.
He's quite funny.
And quick.
And quick, yeah. There's certainly some quick games.
Go on.
Right, what's going on here? So Black has got an
no.
extra pawn.
What?
White has blundered.
It's a rather defensive play from a usually aggressive player.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good timing. Good timing.
That was good timing to see, and well, decides not to even take the queen. Just leaves it. Just yeah. I think we're watching an interesting game of chess. Interesting being a slightly rude word. Yeah,
Fun for us to watch.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're not gonna complain as a fan of the black pieces, although I'm not entirely sure why Matt's spending too much time here. Currently a queen up. I'd probably just be, well, I suppose he's wondering, can he escape?
Hmm. Yeah, it's a good thing Black has that C, the knight on the C.
Oh, that's a free knight as
C6.
well. Oh, I guess the other knight captured.
Yeah, but
Um,
Good game.
well, this bishop drops. This bishop does drop because this pawn is pinned to the
Yeah,
king.
that's
So
Does
what is the material? I mean, it is still just a queen and a bishop, a queen and a knight rather, for a rook. So it's still rather good, I think, for Black.
yeah,
here.
Black's getting their pieces out quickly with bishop c5, which was played, and putting a lot of pressure on f2.
Yep.
And now queen takes c3 looks really difficult for White. I think. Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. I mean,
They
it's
could have won a piece, but instead they sacked their queen in classic style.
I mean, it is
Could've done
two
that
extra
earlier.
pieces, but now for Black. But yeah, I'd take the queen. I mean, Black's still got obviously a very nice position, just utilising their pieces to. Yeah, that
and
knight
the
was
trades are coming.
the knight was a monster on e4, and yeah, well,
Very nice.
belated resignation there, and Matt picks up some points. So after the miserable game we saw from Matt the first time round, we see a nice win. So
Resurrection.
so that's good. Yeah, completely. How long have we got left in the tournament? We've still got another 21 minutes or so to go. Number one seed dropping a couple of games,
Draws for Sam.
but Sam has drawn, so possibly allowing some players to come through. This is the sweat that we're all we're all looking at, I think. But we were looking at Perm University. We've seen them come up a lot, and they are well in front at the moment.
Yeah, very strong.
Very, very strong. Let's go back, I think, to Jonathan Fowler. I think we haven't seen one of his games for quite a while, and is leading the way for the A team for the B team rather, along with quite a few players actually doing
They're doing
very well.
yeah.
Good scores there.
Yeah, and well, White is a pawn up here, so Jonathan is a pawn up, and looks to be trying to get.
E7 looks like a wonderful square to get a rook.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I suppose the question is, could you have gone rook g3 there, and well, that was going to allow something on the. With
I think
queen
a
c1
quick,
check.
I think a quick rook g3 might have had queen c1.
Yeah.
Which would be a little bit tricky for it to get a quick attack because you'd have to swap off a piece. So maybe I think White did the right move.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've got it back. They can still play rook g3.
Yeah.
No queen c1 this time, and the king had an escape square. So rook g7 looks like it's coming in.
Now Jonathan just needs to bring another piece in. If the queen can get to, I suppose, d3, and although it's tricky because I guess the bishop could come to f5.
f5, yeah.
Yeah, maybe White needs to bring in their knight.
Yeah, I like this move queen g3 though. It stops Black from even considering rook g8 and trying to resolve the situation on the king's side.
Wait. Rook takes
Rook f7, yeah. And
Yeah.
then
So queen f5 prevents rook h7 check and queen g7 checkmate.
But we do have rook takes f7.
Yep. We do have rook takes f7 here.
what does black play?
Then maybe black goes rook
Rook
g8.
G8? Yeah.
Tricky.
All clear.
So can we go... You'll notice when my mouse went, I was going to go, can we go rook f1 here, which would be lovely. That would have been a lovely idea if there was a rook there. Oh, dear. Yeah, but only 20 seconds left on the clock.
I'm confident in Jonathan's ability here. I think he's should have this one locked down.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it pretty quickly. He's played rook f7, so what has he got planned after rook g8? Is it just going back with rook g7?
Can you play rook f8?
That's an interesting move. I think maybe you can go. Can you go queen takes?
Oh, you can potentially go rook f8 here. He has played it.
He's yeah.
Of course, you can't take it because of queen g7 checkmate. You can't take the queen because it's pinned.
You can take on f6 though, I think, with the queen.
Then you can go
drop
queen
the
takes
bishop
g8
after
and then take on.
After all is said and done.
Yeah, that's
f6.
true actually. Yeah.
So
I think that's a good tactical play from Jonathan.
Yep. I think this is excellent. Queen
A good game for
h7.
us to watch.
Yeah, we certainly looked at this one at the right time. Queen e5 here looks quite good. Not played. And, well, Jonathan's doing the right thing in here and bringing in that other knight.
I didn't have anywhere to go otherwise.
Yeah, needed to do that.
Definitely.
Of course, this queen's looking at h6, so this queen's got to hang on to it. So you can't go grabbing this this pawn on c2. I mean, you probably can, and the queen's going to jump back, but you've got to watch out for it.
I like that move. h5. Oh, now
it's over.
Now it's looking.
Yeah.
Can black hold on?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think John was taking the endgame here, which I probably agree with actually with knight d6 coming in.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, the safe option if you learn time there.
Yeah, although this f pawn's dropping now. Obviously, some of the queenside pawns are dropping as well. Taking on c6, so it's 2 pawns to the good.
That's a nice move, I think. It just blocks off that bishop from coming in there.
Yeah, needs to get the king into the game anyway, so...
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Jonathan, every time we look at his games, he always has very interesting and very strong games. He's on fire today.
Yeah. I remember I played him in the first sort of foreign sale online and had a really tough game against him in a long play game. Certainly pushed me right up until the end game, if I remember the game correctly. So yeah, very strong player, and certainly doing well for the B team today. And 3 pawns up should be enough here. King's going to come to c3, and then the knight's free to move again. Played this well and quickly.
Yeah, and black's bishop can't even really come that easily to defend against the pawn push on.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter about the g pawn, I think.
No,
yeah.
These queenside pawns are just going to run. Bishop c6 coming, and now this b pawn can start coming up the board, I think. Yeah, there we go.
Nicely done.
Yeah. a7, and then b5, distract that bishop away. Keep going.
And then knight nicely covers b7 there.
Yep. And that is all she wrote, I think. That's going to be a win for Jonathan, a good result. And yeah, how many points is that going to put him on? It must be going to be 23 points, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a really good showing. Excellent. We'll just see the checkmate move. There we go.
The technique, yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, this is going to be one of the interesting things at the start of the next season when we move over the board, because quite a lot of my freshers from my block who join our don't stress play chess events. They're like, it's so different looking at a real chessboard compared to playing online.
Yeah.
And I think that switch, I don't know how transferable it is in the long run. But yeah, quite exciting.
Yeah, it is a very, very different game. All right, we've got about quarter of an hour left. So, and Sam is 1 point behind first place at the moment in this, with third place currently on a streak. So, going to be an interesting race to see whether Sam Chow's able to take it. I was going to say we leave it until nearer the end. We'll save it right at the end.
I like
I think
that.
we've got another couple of games then. We can look at.
Let's take a look. So we will try and catch Chun actually playing a game live. Let's see if we can get one.
Yeah.
We still haven't.
Oh my goodness. 2 queens on the board there. Or 3 in total.
Yeah. It doesn't look like we are going to catch Chun in a game. No, we're not. Let's see. We said we'd have a look at not studying as well. Is he studying at the moment? No, he's not. He's playing. Let's have a look. Ooh. Well, quite a few
points. Does not
points.
look good.
No. Maybe you should go back to studying. No, sorry. That's really harsh. I'm sorry. It was so easy. It was so easy. But obviously playing someone very, very strong there. 1981 rated.
Yeah, 600 points ahead, even 700.
Yeah. And I was hoping we'd catch that one, sort of catch a game earlier on. I'll try and leave this open actually and see if we can catch not studying.
Oh no.
Yeah,
oh, no.
That's going to seal the deal there. We'll see if we can catch not studying in the start of their next game. Just going for the stalemate tricks now.
Throwing it all.
Throw it all away. Try and get a stalemate.
Looks like he's ended it there, which is probably a good plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Move on.
Yeah.
And he still has time as well to fit in a couple of games, so he can.
Yeah.
And Chun says he's having dinner, so sorry. I've told him come play again because Tom wants to stream you.
No,
so.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm not offended. Let's have a look at the Simpsons nerd again because this is Vincent's, isn't it? No, it's not. Who is it? Joe Varley. There we go. This is Joe. And what's going on in this position? Somebody help me.
Very
There's a lot going on.
positional game. I mean, obviously the E4 pawn looks like quite a nice target for Black to try and win, but it is difficult to win. One thing for sure is Black shouldn't take on D4 because they want to keep that bad pawn structure from White.
Yeah.
But it looks like a shuffling game for some time. Although now I'm not so sure.
This doesn't look like shuffling.
No.
Had enough of this.
This is undoubled those pawns, so I'm not so sure about this. I mean, you can go E4 and make it a backwards pawn, but it's going to be difficult to
White's
attack.
going to get C4 in though, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of protection for that square. White's got a firm grip on it.
Yeah, and it just looked like it's going to open up the centre, and then suddenly the E4 pawn for Black is going to be the one that could become weak if this D5 pawn drops off. So, it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm even wondering whether you go G5 here. It seems a bit crazy, but maybe it makes the F file just a little bit too weak.
Yeah, I think that's probably not needed. Maybe knight E7. Or I suppose you don't need to probably quite yet.
Yeah, C4's come in, and Black's centre is starting to come under a bit of fire here, and we've got this shuffle happening again. And G5 has been played.
So it looks like Joe is definitely trying to win here, because I guess otherwise he would have gone back to G6 with the knight, go for a perpetual. But,
yeah, I mean, it feels like White would have probably dropped back with the rook anyway,
Oh.
potentially all the way back if...
Interesting. I wonder if I wonder if Black will try and eventually go for an attack. I mean, it's tricky with the bishop on E2, but Do you think they might try and
I'd like to see it.
maybe get
Maybe.
f5 in at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This bishop's just controlling all of these light squares, and
Bishop is essential.
all your pawns and queen are all on dark squares, so it's really difficult to get in. C5 there, that's a nice move.
I don't know if black would have let that happen.
Yeah, is he basically just giving up a move at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, isn't it? Because, you know, we were saying, well, if this gets traded off, then suddenly your e4 pawn becomes weak. But of course, if you don't trade it off, it comes forwards, and suddenly your queen side becomes a little bit sketchy. And, well, now the f file has become quite sketchy as well.
It has, although black has now opened up the h file for a rook attack.
Yeah.
But three is nice. I like that.
And that's a nice tactic there. Now the rook's going.
Very good. There's no discoveries afterwards.
You can get away with king f6, can't you? Here, I think so. Oh well, queen f6. Yeah, that'll do it. That's a better way of doing it rather than putting your king in the center.
I'm not sure about this. I think queen e6 was needed just to hold everything together.
Yep.
Yeah, after the d pawn falls, it's very, very scary for black, I think. Even with the extra material.
Yeah, and this g pawn's also under fire. You can't really go f5 here because queen d7 is going to come in.
Yeah, I don't think. I think this is moved too late, but I don't think black has. I think before maybe they were thinking of playing rook h8, but I think their white just had rook f2.
Yeah, and there's nothing to do about it.
Yeah.
Can you play f6 here?
I think f5. Yeah, I was going to suggest this.
Oh yeah, just g6 man.
But then queen b7 check here is, well, at least picking up a pawn. And yeah, I mean, black may be the exchange up, but I'm not convinced this is too hot. Yeah, looking very tricky here. These pawns are just going to start coming down the board. I like this from white. Just trade the queens.
Make it simpler, for sure.
Yep. And I think Joe's got to try something a little bit crazy here. Yeah, just get the queen out of the way. Can't really be trading.
With the king there as well.
I think also the rook might be... Is the rook coming in now? Rook takes f5. Is that a good move, or is that going to lead into black having... Maybe black can get some checks in, but I still think it's starting to open up.
I think you go rook takes f5. Is there any perpetual with...
Actually, but, queen there and queen g6. This is now looking incredibly difficult.
What happened?
Yeah. And, well, you can take on g5 at worst and try again.
And at any point, white can just pick up the exchange again if they feel like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's an absolute knockout blow here. I can't see one. But I mean, white's got all the time in the world here.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Yeah, just push those pawns. I think rook takes f5 just gives black some counterplay which you don't need to give. Just march those queenside pawns. Yeah, got to go for something.
Yeah, I guess if the g pawn takes, if the e pawn takes there, then everything's solid. I don't think there'll be any more checks for black.
Yeah, well, we're doing that dance again, but the
this time.
Yeah, the dance happened again, but the other g pawn's gone. And well,
I'd love to see a perpetual just come out of nowhere here for black.
I can't say I expect it. I can't say it's going to happen, but
black can hope.
Here we go.
Yeah. F2. I assume the king's going to find a safe square on h3 here.
Yeah, and the knight can come back to
or
block
even
this
knight
one.
f3. Yeah.
I think so.
It's definitely no perpetual, but yep. just knight f3. Suppose that may even come into g4.
And also now, actually, white can top off the queens, potentially with things like queen g, well, there, and then queen e5. Although, as I said, that black did move the rook in front. But now, if the queen moves, the knight comes into g5 again. And that could be difficult.
Yeah, it's a great square for the knight, cutting off those squares for the black king.
Yep, no checks here, and well, there's a check for white. Isn't quite what I meant.
It's b6 now.
Yeah, I think so.
Just send it.
And
I think we need to go to Sam next after this because we've only got 3 minutes
I think
left.
so.
Oh, the time has come.
Only 3 and a bit minutes, and this is looking dangerous. Let's just take a look at the overall standings. It's 44-41. Oh, Sam's gonna have to get a couple of quick games in. It looks like. Looks like the streak's gone at the end, and there might even be an overtake from Cruz. Black's at least going for something, but yeah, that's going to be checkmate there.
Yeah.
Right. Let's take a look then at Sam. Let's have a look. So, Sam Chow. Let's have a look.
Oh,
he's playing Jonathan Fowler. He's playing Jonathan Fowler.
A great way to end.
So that's the top of the A team versus the top of the B team, I think.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. Their record 13-1. They've played 14 times. So Jonathan has picked up a win against Sam before, which is no mean feat. But Sam's gonna have to win quickly. The player from Perm University who was on that streak has just jumped into the lead. So but it looks like Sam's on course to at least finish in the top 3, which is a fantastic result, especially given there's a grandmaster in the field as well.
Yeah, the caliber of some of these players is
nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I don't know whether has the grandmaster stopped playing.
Possibly not. Oh, that's a queen blunder. That's a queen blunder. That's a quick game. So Jonathan has resigned.
He's got time. He's gonna have to berserk, I think, on the next one. As well.
It's looking like a berserk. Just a quick update on the scores. So Sam up to 43 points. The person
he keeps
46.
scoring. And he has been overtaken.
He hasn't lost any there. I think he's the only undefeated player so far.
But
I think he might have called it a day.
I think he has called it a day. But should be good there to secure 3rd place overall, which is a fantastic result, really.
He probably quite likely has the highest performance rating as well, given that I think he's only lost 1 game.
Yeah.
The others have played so many more games.
Yeah. Let's as we wrap up and take a look. So Warwick University B up to 19th, and Warwick University A has stolen it. They've stormed up to 18th after some
of the players joined.
Have turned up and picked up some quick games. Picked up a load of quick points. I mean,
we have top J, Jake Liang.
We do indeed. Yes. So it looks like the A team has secured that. I'm amazed. Top J has joined very late, and
how's he doing?
Well, he's won 4 games very quickly, and I'm assuming he's been berserking. He has. So we'll finish watching this. It's one of these times when you've got to go very, very quickly, and your opponent could just sit there and let the clock expire.
Jake's a great bullet player. His speciality is bullet.
Yeah,
he's all about the berserk.
He certainly beaten me a couple of times in Warwick tournaments and completely destroyed me in Blitz games.
Countdown is nearly up.
Yeah, it's not going to end. It's not going to end.
There's still that tactic though that you pointed out.
There is, but they may finish. I don't know if the games get abandoned or whether
the bell's ringing.
They end. We may as well keep on this one just as they finish this out. But
justice.
It looks like Warwick has ended roughly about where their seedings were. It looks like the B team may have finished a little bit higher than perhaps they would have expected, which is fantastic. And the A team, despite not having a full roster until quite the way through have performed really well to finish sort of mid-table.
Yeah.
Definitely. I suppose
Absolutely.
the question is also posed: should we have entered just one team if we wanted say a medal finish? Should we have combined them together? Because I'm
Yeah.
looking actually. I mean, we can have a look at it in a minute. But actually, the teams that have come first and second, they have both over 20 players.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's an arena,
Yeah.
it just takes your top 8 players, doesn't it? So, yeah, it looks like I think these university events look like they run a few times a year, or certainly have done. I think there's another one in July, so that's certainly
Yeah.
something that the new exec can take a look at going forwards.
We'll definitely be answering that one.
Yeah.
And we've got a few comments from our viewers, and Dima says that it's very unfair that people lose on time, which is very new for people new to online chess. Is obviously very unfair, I guess. There's another comment as well, which is
Not sure it's unfair. It's part of the game. Part of the game.
The other comment is chess.com is more friendly for beginners. So I guess any comments on that, Tom, Louise?
Well, that's obviously moving from a comment before of
Politics
chess.com is better. This is again not really the time to be talking about it, but it is just a better website. There's more to it, but then it's a professional website as opposed to Lichess, which has been set up, and I mean it may be maybe run by full-time people now, but it never used to be. So yeah, for the amount of effort that's been put in, Lichess has done a lot more. But yeah,
I think so. But actually, both websites as well are both actually improving a lot. And there's so many more features and activities. I mean, even the candidates tournament, which is streaming on chess.com, like that's only recent that the chess.com are even showing events. All the puzzles that are in chess.com, that's new. And even
Definitely on
Lichess as a website is relatively new compared to the others.
yeah.
So there are benefits to both, and I'm sure there'll be more benefits to come.
Yeah, completely. Well, congratulations to Perm University, as we've seen them quite a lot against the Warwick players, and I think we've had some good games against them. Yeah, lots of players in their squad and taking it home. Warwick University 18th and 19th, sitting very comfortably there in the middle of the pack.
We take those.
Good result.
We take those.
And yeah, Sam Chow. I've got so many tabs open. There we go. Sam Chow finishing in the end in third place. So a fantastic result there again. Not losing many games at all. I think it was just losing one game. I think in the end.
I didn't think he lost
Yeah.
it yesterday.
Yeah.
I think those are just draws.
They are just draws. I think. So he may not have even lost a game.
Can we see his performance? Is that a thing?
Can do. So his performance was an abysmal 25-84. Absolutely dreadful. Terrible.
Wow. Very good.
But yeah, so it looks like it's been a good evening of chess. Certainly had some interesting
great
games.
there.
And yeah, obviously a tremendous result from Sam. And yeah, that's gone really well.
Yeah, and good to see actually such a good turnout from Warwick as well.
Yeah.
Even if they are late.
We must have had like 25 players, I guess, in both teams.
Yeah, combined it's going to be about 20,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all for a Sunday night.
A quick question, Tom. Roughly how many viewers do you think we had today?
We got up to about 20, 25 at one point. We've got 11 at the moment, but yeah, we've definitely had around the sort of mid to low teens throughout. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. And if you're watching on YouTube or on the video afterwards on Twitch, thanks for coming along and listening to us ramble on about chess for 2 hours.
Yeah, so I think a big thank you to Tom for hosting this. A big thank you to Louise for being our special guest. A big thank you to Jake, to Jack
Almost.
for being our lovely online chess director. And obviously, I'm only here to add a few small comments. I'm like the cherry on the top of the cake. So thank you all.
Yeah, the sour note at the end. Yeah. Sorry, Hok.
Any comments from anyone else?
Hopefully we can be back again as well for another time, and it's nice to see that Warwick are entering these battles with the other universities.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose another actually interesting question as well with this is when over the board chess returns, how big will all these arenas and battles be, which have obviously been huge since lockdown is.
I can see them going up for sure. I think a lot of people will be drawn in when we start doing the publicity events in the summer term right now. So it's a bright future.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hope over the board chess comes back sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I think, and we I think it's going to be more of a mix of online and over the board as opposed to before when it was pretty much all over the board. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that develops. I think it will still be mostly over the board for the next few years, but these arenas, these blitz tournaments online, it's more convenient to do that from your home than have to go anywhere. So
yeah, especially against Russian universities.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to play all these unis from across the world,
that's great.
Readily is really great.
Yep.
A good feature actually of this past year.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, well, I'm going to do my little quick plug. My Twitch channel's there. Please go follow it. We'll I'm streaming next Wednesday if you're particularly bored. But yeah, I've put that in there because Hok never plugged it, so I'm going to.
No. I'm going to say this. Yes, so Tom is an excellent professional streamer.
I'm not professional. I'm not a professional.
Follow him on Chester one something.
I'll put it in the chat. It's Chester 1883. Yeah.
1883. So Chester 1883 is Tom's handle. Please do follow him. He's very close to becoming affiliated, so he could make some money as well. So we are happy to support all our old members as ever. We are a very good community supporting each other. So thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks everyone for turning up. And again, thanks to Louise, Jack, and Hok, that's your name, for letting me come back and for commentating on this evening. And yeah, I think from all of us, have a great rest of the night, and hopefully see you all back on this Twitch channel at some point. Cool. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.